Ladies and gentlemen, grab your tea and get ready for Tea Talk, where the topics are real, relevant, and relaxing. It's Tea Talk time, and here's Lady O.
Thank you, Tracy. Well, hello there, and welcome to Tea Talk. I'm Lady O, and I'm so happy to have you today. We have a wonderful topic today, and it's so just inspirational and so relevant to our topic, which is called Tea Talk. And one of the reasons I named it that was because I love talking over a cup of tea. And some teas are better than others, and you have your favorites. But one of the things that when we started this show, was when we went into our COVID isolation and at home and those kind of things. So one of the things that my physician was telling me is to drink lots of hot stuff, hot steamy stuff. Lady O, just drink lots of teas because, I started out having some issues with congestion and it was even before I think COVID really came out that I think that I possibly could have had COVID, but I didn't know what it was. But I was so congested and so full of stuff that I couldn't get up. So she just kept saying, just as hot as you can get it, drink lots of hot tea with lemon and stuff like that. So I started doing that. And even those of you that watched my show back then, I even went out and got some hibiscus plants and started brewing my own tea from my hibiscus plant because I heard that was really good and nutritional. So today's show, we're going to learn about tea from an expert, a young lady who does all kinds of teas, and she has her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She's a strong Black woman who's a Christian lady. And so I just said I had to get on the show. Now, let me tell you really how I got on the show. I have to give my daughter-in-law preps, Sherelle, because she knows I love tea. So since they were living here with us, she kind of noticed my pattern of drinking the tea and making hot teas from my garden and things like that. So she got me this tea. I think it was for it must have been for Mother's Day. She got me a tea gift box that came in the mail. And she said, now it's going to have your name on it, but don't open it because it's something special for you. So on Mother's Day, she presented me with this beautiful box of tea and also the cup, which I'll show you in a little bit because I'm going to ask her a question about the cup. And she bought me the whole set. So it makes really great gifts and she does deliver. So listen, tell everybody to go ahead and get on because teas back in the day, people didn't have medicine. So they did medicinal things with a tea. So many different things were made from tea and they healed the body. And so a lot of things that we're taking, a lot of medicine, we're going to be finding out what kind of teas we use instead of medicine, because every day I'm hearing something that's in this medicine and, we don't want to trust it, but we don't have any choice. So we want to get some alternatives because sometimes medicines have side effects and things like that. So go ahead and tell everybody kind of call in and say, look, you need to get on. I know you've got some medical issues and you're going to find out and be able to ask your questions about different teas. So, and you can already put those in the chat room if you want to know what kind of teas would work for whatever, ails you. But so without further ado, I want to bring my guest on. And like I said, she's going to tell us all about it. Another thing I like about her too, she's local, which means she's here in Houston. So I want to go ahead and bring her on. She's giving us some guests, and I'm going to go ahead and learn about her first, and then we'll learn more about the answer to the questions. What's the difference in her tea and the stores and the tea, and what do the different teas do? So I want you to help me welcome Monica Lewis to our show today for Tea Talk. Hi, Monica. We're so happy to have you.
I am so glad to be here.
Yes. Well, look, I had not seen your face, but you are simply beautiful.
Well, thank you. Beauty, no beauty.
Okay. And I am loving your kitchen and so forth. But tell us a little bit about you first before we get into your teas. Where are you from? Let's see. I think you may be frozen. Just start to talk. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Monica, are you there? She was having a little bit of problem with her internet earlier, so she'll be coming back in a minute. So while she's coming back in, let me tell you what I do know about her. Okay, so she's coming back in, but one of the questions I'm going to ask her is about this cup, because when Sherelle gave me, oh, is that her coming back in? Okay. Well, anyway, the cup that I want to ask her about this cup, because I have certain teacups, and so when Sherelle got me this one, and I was going to ask her, is this, because Sherelle has one too, and I was asking her about this design, and so when she comes back on, we're going to ask her that. I don't want to get ahead of her. Can you put your questions in there? While we're doing that, let's look at some of our guests and let's welcome. Hello, Etta Ford and Deborah Frederick, Tisha. Let's see, Tracy, and who else is on here? Lots of other people coming in. So she'll be back in just a minute. So we're going to learn about this tea. But let me tell you about my teas last year while we're waiting on her. I went ahead and got this hibiscus tea, that's red hibiscus, and I put one seed in the ground. And that one seed grew up so much, it just took over half of the garden. I have them in those big gardens, bigger than this, bigger than I can reach. Half of them, I put one seed in there and it just spread and took over. And they were red hibiscus, and they were really very, very good for you. So I did that. I had lemongrass. So this is something else I have got to get back up that plant. When I had the freeze, a lot of my things died, and the wheatgrass died on me, and all the lemongrass died. Now the lemongrass was so good, and that was my major one. The hibiscus, it wasn't all that good, but it was good for you. But the lemongrass smells so good. Then I had, of course, some ginger out there, a whole bunch of other things, but I really didn't know what I was doing. Okay, I was just really growing things that I knew that was good for you and what I heard. But I am ready to ask the expert, how do you blend your teas? What's good for you? And look here, better than that, I want her to tell us how to do it, but I want her to tell us how to order it. This is the way they come. So it says this one here. Let me just talk about the ones I have till she gets back on. Okay. Now this is one that my daughter-in-law gave me, and it's called One Love Tea Peppermint Yerba Mat, and it just says loose leaf yerba mat or mate. I don't know what that is. So anyway, she's going to tell us what this is about. It's a traditional drink of South America. For centuries, it is known for its ability to increase the metabolism and boost energy. Now, I was interested in this one because, there you are. I was telling about one of the teas I had. So if you'll start talking, I can see if I can hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
It's getting there.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Work on it a little bit more. It sounds like a frog. You know how I mean, it's kind of froggy like, and I don't know what that is, but they can work with it on it. But I'm going to keep talking until they're saying your audio is really bad. I would say, number one, if you have anything else going on electronically, cut it off. Just have one, because it starts to interfere. And he's saying, can you use the other device that you had before? But sometimes people try to use the headsets and the different things, and it just knocks it out. Okay. So when, write down what your favorite tea is. Now, my favorite one, like I said, I really, really like the lemongrass. It's very soothing to your stomach, what I did in my grab out there. But the one that I like the best, I drank it all, and I thought I saved the little package, but I couldn't find it. But I drank all of it right away after Sherelle. But she also gave me a sweet Georgia peach. And I want to kind of show you a little bit about how I did mine, okay? So, this is my grandbaby, sorry. So when you steep your tea, and I'm telling stuff that she probably will tell you, but she can tell you, I hope I'm telling it right. But this is what I really like about it. Because when I was doing my teas from the garden, there would be strands left. So you have this little steeping cup, and you lift it. You put I usually put like a teaspoon of, whatever the tea is in here. Then I pour the hot water over, and I just let it steep. So when you get through, that's what's inside it, all of that, but it strains it through. And so then your tea comes up. Now this one that I'm drinking today is peppermint yerba mate or mate, whatever. She'll tell me how to pronounce it. But I love peppermint. And I was going to ask her what else is peppermint good for, but I know it's good for digestion and calming your stomach. Does anybody else know anything about peppermint, what it's good for? Anyway, it says it's good, and I didn't know this, to increase your metabolism. Now, those of us that are trying to lose weight, trying to keep keep young, you know, as you get older, your metabolism slows down, right? Okay. Etta says she's bought that before. Her favorite is chamomile. It's Shelly's. I do drink chamomile at nighttime, but I want to see. I haven't had her chamomile, but this one is hers, and it's all herbs. And she's going to tell us. I'm not going to tell you that the difference between this kind of tea that comes in grinded up and mixed all together, and the packet we get out of the store. She's going to tell you the difference in that. But let me just take a sip because I love peppermint. Let's see. It's good. It's good. Now, the thing that I also want you to get used to, and I have a lot of my friends have told me they like to put lots of lemon and sugar and honey and all that stuff, okay, and cream. Well, if you're diabetic, okay, you can't do all that honey and lemon and all that stuff in there. So you're going to have to learn to drink it without sugar. Now, I drink my tea and my coffee without sugar because once you get through doing that, Tisha, you can testify to this. Tisha started drinking coffee with me, and I told her, I said, look, all that cream and sugar in there, you don't need that. So she started drinking it without sugar. Tisha, you want to come on and talk about how you've gotten used to it without sugar and what it tastes like? Oh, I think our guest is back. Go ahead, Tisha. Mic is not working. I tell you, today we're just having problems with these mics. Tisha, is yours working? Okay.
Can you hear me, Lady O?
Oh, yes, now I can. Yes, welcome
Let me
back.
tell you, this month's going to be a great segment because we have used that mic and the phone for all of our TV segments. And from Fox 26, Channel 2, from LA, and I'm like, this is the devil.
Yes,
We're
it
going
is.
to get done. So I came up into my office upstairs, and we're going to roll with that.
Okay, perfect. Well, I was just telling them about my daughter-in-law, Sherelle. Sherelle is my daughter-in-law. She's a sweetie. So she knew how I love tea because they had to move in with us when the weather and everything went bad and they didn't have their house ready yet. So for Mother's Day, she bought me this set from you. And it came in mail, and I was telling them how you will deliver through the mail. And I know probably sometimes she will deliver in person if she is around or whatever. But the fact is you can get this tea from you don't have to worry about sitting out for it. So why don't you start off? Let's tell me a little bit about you first, because we want to know who you are.
Okay, I'm Monica Lewis, and yes, I am the owner of Lewis Tea and Co. Well, my husband also owns it as well, but I've been also in the etiquette industry. So I have my own manners and etiquette school called the Monica Lewis School of Etiquette. Been in business over 17 years. I have 5 children. I've been married for 18 wonderful years. I am a church girl to heart.
All right. Yay!
And that's why I was like early today, I'm like, I gotta get there, after I done praise God. I said, I got to get, because I have a segment. But everything that I do, I make sure God is in it first, and I don't move until he says so. Yeah. And that is how the tea company started. I had no idea. It was not a plan, but during the pandemic, I launched the tea business, and it has bloomed from the pandemic till now. So we have over 40 blends, and we'll get more into that.
Wow. And I didn't know that because I was probably one of your first customers then, because that's when she got it. That year we were out for the pandemic, and we were all closed up, and she knows I have the Tea Talk show, was birthed then. And so she wanted to get me some tea. And so she has me several flavors here. Well, wonderful. So thank you for sharing with us how it came to be, because that was going to be one of my questions. One of my other questions real quickly is because she has this mug and she bought this one for me. Tell me about this mug, because when I thought it was just one mug or something she picked up, but is there something special about this floral arrangement?
Well, of course, tea time is all about taking that moment in our busy lives. Some people say, I don't have time to sleep. Yes, you do. If that means you're doing self-care. So the flowers represent taking the time, because we are all God's creation. And of course, you see in the background, my husband moving everything in. So
No problem. We're good. I love that color.
It just represents that, to remind you that we are precious in God's eyes. So that is why the floral came in. But you can use a teacup, you can use a mug, but it's just taking that extra time just for yourself.
Right. Well, I have lots of mugs and teacups, and usually I have a different one on the different shows. So today I'm going to show off this one. It says Lady O, but on the other side, it is the Dallas Cowboys, and they are winning. So this goes out to my husband, who's in there right now yelling for the Cowboys, and they're winning. So please pray that they continue to win. So when I get off this show, it's going to be a happy time and not they lost it again. Oh, boy. Well, great. So now this is what I want you to do. This is going to be kind of like a class. And the first thing I want to start off is talking about what makes your tea so different from the teas we buy in the store.
Okay, that is a great question. What makes my tea different? First of all, let's talk about tea.
Okay.
People think tea are created equal. Okay. And so I say, name a few teas. Oh, hibiscus. You have chamomile. You have lavender. Actually, those teas are not true tea. Those are called botanicals. Yes, you can steep botanicals, but it's not true tea. True tea is black tea, white tea, green tea, oolong, and purr, which comes from one plant called the Camellia sinensis plant. Okay, so I'm giving you a little knowledge of that. And so once you have like a chamomile or a tea that is mixed with a botanical, now you have an infused tea. Right? Okay. So you don't get the same health benefits as if you would just steep botanicals, which are your chamomile, which are your lavender. They're great to steep, and they also have great health benefits. But if you're looking for like the real nutrients, you have to get in the tea. And those are the 5 teas we have. And so another question that is, people think, okay, well, I can get this tea in the store. No, you can't. Right. Let me explain why. And I'm actually going to show you why.
Okay.
Okay, so you have this plant, the Camellia sinensis plant. Think about a bag of chips. Okay. The top of those bag of chips are uniform, they pretty, they triangle shape. And then at the bottom, you have like the dust, right? And most times we just take the chip bag and we do all this with it, right?
Right.
Well, that is really what's in your tea bag. You're getting the dust, the fanning from the actual tea. And so when you have the loose leaf tea, you're getting the top, the premium, the first ones that were produced, and not the bottom of the bag.
Ooh, wow. I've heard that before when I went to a tea club, a tea company, a tea room. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that literally after they get through picking the leaves, and like you said, with the chip bag, the dust and all the little crumbs are in the bottom, that's leftover stuff that nobody can use. They sell that as tea. So
right. And I want you to understand the importance of that. There was a YouTube video that I sent to you guys, and maybe we can share it later on. But in this video, and this just happened last year, a lot of our tea companies that are in the store that you'll be familiar with, you will learn in the tea bags, there are plastic in that tea bag. And the reason why it's plastic in the tea bag, just to preserve the freshness, the little freshness that's in it. So the loose leaf tea, yes, it's a little time consuming, but it's really not. 3 to 5 minutes, you're good to go. But then also, if you decide to use a tea filter bag, there are biodegradable tea bags, and that's on the website. Those means that it doesn't have any plastic, so you're still going to get the same benefits from it. You have no idea how long those tea boxes that's on the shelves in the grocery store have been there. right?
Oh yeah.
So
Is this the bag you're talking about?
Yes, that's the filter bag. And then I also have on my site like a reusable Muslim bag. So you just rinse it out and reuse it. But you definitely want to stay away from the tea bags in the store if you're looking for healthy benefits and you're looking for premium. So my tea is the top 2% premium tea leaves around tea gardens around the world. So they're handpicked. They from all over between Japan, China, India. And what happens when I get it, I actually hand blend some of the herbs in it. I'm a foodie. As you can tell, I'm like a plus size model, right?
Okay.
So
Hooray for the plus sizes.
So it gotta taste good. And
Yeah.
so all of my teas, which you cannot do with teas in the store, you cannot re-steep them. All of my tea are re-steepable. So in a 4-ounce bag, you are actually getting 60 cups of tea. Versus if you go and buy a box of tea, and the reason why it's so cheap because you're not getting anything, you're not getting quality, you know. And so that's something I wanted to make sure I shared with everyone. I'm the type of person, once I learn something and it's helpful me, I'm telling everybody, you know.
Well, good.
And so I want you to understand the importance. It's not the same tea that's in the store. It's totally different. You're getting the dust, and with my tea company, you're actually getting premium loose leaf tea.
Right. We have that video. If you want, do you want me to show it now?
Yes. Can you show?
Okay, great. Pastor Johnny, can you show that video for me? Thank you. Make it a little larger. Let's see.
So I've got all the major tea brands in front of me. And what is interesting is
a little bit louder.
Tea bags have got this big sign at the top. It says here, 100 unbleached, plastic-free bags of fair trade everyday tea. But does that mean that all the other tea bags contain plastic?
Here.
So Andrew, what have you been up to and how can you help us?
Well, we've been taking apart tea bags and we can show you some of the things that we found. The entire thing has just completely dissolved.
Pucker, PG Tips and Clipper have done all right. So
Twinings?
Wow. That looks like a lot, doesn't it?
It's dissolving away the papery part of the tea bag so that we can see the plastic skeleton that's inside it. As you can see, other than being a little bit more transparent and fragile looking, it's like a tea bag.
I'm shocked and surprised.
The Tetley?
So sharp. Can I do Yorkshire tea?
Of course you
Shall I
can.
goggles on?
Safety specs on.
Here we go. Please be nothing, please be nothing.
Want to go into this one?
Oh no, Yorkshire tea.
Sorry, Anita.
Oh gosh, look at that. This is not a good result for Yorkshire.
Which is a non-biodegradable plastic, which probably will survive in the environment for hundreds, thousands of years.
It looks rich. Wow. Are they into 2020? Whoa.
Now, isn't that surprising?
That is so surprising that they know it's there and then they say they're going to switch.
And let me tell you, Lady O, the difference is, look, I just bought this tea. They were supposed to switch by the end of 2020, of December, right?
Right.
No, it has not. I actually bought this tea yesterday before the segment today so that you guys can see the difference. and the bag is downstairs. It's the same original tea bag. Nothing has changed, right? And so this is, I don't know if you can see this. This is turmeric.
Yeah.
That's the tea bag, right? And this is my turmeric.
Wow.
Can you tell a big difference?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so this is, of course, the fannin, which is the dust part. And this is what real turmeric and ginger looks like. It's the same kind. It's one of those, I can't remember, I can't think of the name of the tea, but it was one that's listed on that site. But they have not changed it. Why? Because they have the inventory. They have to still make their money. And that is not priority to them. And so since the thing is that once you know to do better, you do better.
Yeah.
So since you have this information, it's your job to do better. And then eventually they'll take it off the shelf.
Wow. Well, this is very good to know that. Okay. So it's no way we can tell if it doesn't say that it doesn't use plastic, it means it probably does.
Right. So if it doesn't say biodegradable, this is a biodegradable tea bag. You can see right through it. There's no plastic in it, almost like paper, right? There is no plastic in it.
Right.
So, and then you have also the nylon biodegradable tea bag. So make sure it says biodegradable on the box. When you see that word, then they'll let you know, okay, there's no plastic. If it doesn't say that, you have plastic in your tea bag.
Right. And plastic is supposed to be poison. It's supposed to cause cancer and all those kind of things.
Right. And the only reason why they're using it because it's just to store the remaining freshness of that tea. Really, you're not supposed to keep your tea no more than 6 months to a year.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you too. Because I bought my husband bought a box the other day, and I opened it up and it was literally stuck together. And I'm like, it didn't look like it got wet. I'm like, is it just real old, or why did it stick together like that?
Yes, it's just been on the shelf for a very long time. So one other thing I wanted, the myth about, I've seen someone in the chat about if they're non-tea drinkers, what do you do, if you don't drink caffeine? Well, first of all, the myth is people think that all tea there are some teas that doesn't have caffeine. All teas have caffeine in it. Mm-hmm. That means we're talking about black tea, white tea, oolong, pure, green. All of those teas have caffeine in it, but the difference is that how it's processed, you have more or less of the caffeine. Right. So your black tea is going to be your strongest caffeinated tea. So if you really can't have no caffeine, you want to strictly deal with herbal tea. And what herbal tea is nothing but botanicals. There is no tea leaves involved. That means you can have a chamomile. That's a botanical. Lavender, hibiscus, those are not teas. So you can drink that at night, any time of day, and you won't have to worry about if your heart is racing or anything.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that again, because I kind of wanted to make sure, because that I had no idea years ago that tea was caffeine, because they were saying don't drink Cokes and things like that because it's full of caffeine. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, I went to a tea place and they said tea has more caffeine than coffee. So it's all caffeine. And so there's no such thing as decaffeinated coffee or decaffeinated tea. They just make them more diluted, but all of them are caffeine. So
if we're talking about tea, yes, all of them have some form of caffeine, but they'll have a lighter version based on whatever tea you're getting. Like a white tea has very low caffeine because white tea is like the top buds of the tea. So as soon as it grows, they take it off, right?
Okay.
Green tea has like medium caffeine unless, and we're going to talk about that. Actually, I'm going to pick that up here. Unless you have this thing called matcha. I don't know if you've seen that before.
I haven't seen it before, but it was on the bag that my daughter-in-law, I think, gave me.
Okay, so let me show you that.
Is M-A-T-E?
It's M-A-T-C-H-A, matcha.
Oh, no, that's not it.
So, I'm going to show you two different teas. This is Sencha. This is Sencha. It's a regular green tea. It's strictly from Japan, but this tea has so many amazing health benefits to it, but
really?
it doesn't have the same amount of caffeine like coffee. The difference is that there is in this tea this thing called alpha-9. So what happens is that it doesn't give you that crash effect. It's a healthy form of caffeine. This Sencha, in Japan, they drink this tea at least 5 times a day. Why?
And that's why they live so long and they're so little.
Because it actually adds years to your life. It's a lifespan. Because green tea, that is one of the health benefits. Also, green tea helps you with oral hygiene.
Yeah.
So also it kills bacteria from the food. So what they would do, they would take it in the morning, and after every meal, they would have Sencha. Okay.
Yes.
So
how do you spell that?
It is, and let me tell you, it's spelled Sencha. Sencha. Let me tell you, when I wrote out my tea company, Sencha was sold out the most. I mean, consistently. And guess what? It wasn't from us.
Where is it from?
It was from the Asian community. They kept reordering.
Okay.
Yeah, because they know the health benefits from it. And so it helps with lower cholesterol. It helps with, oh yeah, it is amazing. And let me tell you, my daughter, I have a 5-year-old daughter, when she was 3 or 4, she had a cavity. And of course, it was like, she's going to have to give a silver cap. I said, no, lady, we're not walking with no silver caps. We're not going to do that. And so, Sencha, I gave it to her 3 times a day. It reversed it. When she went back, no cavity, right? And
are you saying cavities?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Do your research. It is called Sencha. So everything that's on my tea line has a reason why it's on there. Yes, it's going to taste good, but it's going to have so many other health benefits. Then you can add lemon to your Sencha. Anything you can add lemon to, lemon enhance the benefits from it. Okay. And so if you drink in Sencha 3 to 5 times a day, the deal is, Leo, you can re-steep those same tea leaves. What happens is that
you said that earlier, so I don't throw these away. I can use it again.
Yes, ma'am. Let me tell you. See, the thing is, people don't understand that there's a brewing time per tea, meaning that black tea you can steep for 3 to 5 minutes. Herbal tea, you can steep 5 to 7 because it's botanicals. This is how you keep your green tea to last long. You're not supposed to brew it until no more than 2 minutes the first round.
Right.
And so the 2 minutes, you're going to see if you order the Sencha, which every household need to have this Sencha. You're going to see all these black particles and all of that. It's coming from that. Those are the properties, the healing properties of it. And so, and then in Japan, they have the small cup. So you don't even have to do an 8-ounce cup. You can do a 4 to 6 ounce.
A little bitty cup I've seen. Just a little after their meal and stuff. A little bitty look like
we the only one think we got to fill it up to the brim, right?
A whole cup. So when you say brew, are you talking about put it in this and brew it or boil it?
Yeah, it's a steeper. You can. This is called
steeping. Is that called brewing?
Yeah, it's steeping. Okay, so brewing and steeping the same thing. So really, you kind of brew coffee and you steep tea, but whichever way that whatever terminology you're familiar with, you're doing the same thing.
Okay.
You use this infuser. And what this infuser does, it has a super fine hose. Okay, let me explain about infusers. Some of us may have bought infusers from other stores, but if you don't get it from my company, you want to definitely look at a super extra fine infuser. Why? It's because you may have small, tiny tea leaves, and if you don't have an extra fine, it's going to seep through those holes.
Right.
And that's why I gifted you guys the infuser so you can have it. Extra fine.
Thank you for our gift. While we're doing that little segue, we want to thank you for our gift. And they come. I want to just show you this. Of course, mine came in a bigger box when Sherelle gave me mine because she had the cup in there and she had a whole bunch of things in there. But this is the way it looks. I don't know if I'm upside down or not. There it is. Okay, hold on. And inside, this is a gift that she gave to us. So thank you so much. She gave us the strainer, which is, I already had one because Sherelle gave me one. I guess Pastor will get this one now. That thing was something else. I wasn't trying to share, okay? But you may have forced me to. I told him, don't use my strainer. Okay. And so inside here, the first one is Hometown Spice that I have. And it's got a lot of black stuff in it. It looks really good. And then a Sweet Georgia Peach. I have, Sherelle gave me one of those. And she had these little sample ones too. This is what Sherelle gave me to see if I liked it. The one I really liked, I drank all of it right away. And I don't have the little bag, so I got to figure out what it was. Maraca Mint. And this one is Antioxidant Triple. Oh, you got to talk about this one. Antioxidant Triple Threat. Why don't we start talking about that one first? Because we really need to heal our bodies.
Okay, and so let me tell you, this is the antioxidant triple threat. It's full of aca berries, all the berry family. So you already know berries is a superfood, right?
Yes.
And it's pretty pink color. So let me help you. Let me understand. Let me let you understand. It is so good until you may want a 20 ounce. Just be ready to know, because it has a lot of antioxidant, meaning it has fiber.
Okay.
And what it's going to do is going to regulate you while you drink the whole 20 ounce.
We
But
need to be regulated.
it is so good. So it's a berry flavor. It's steep pink. So if I have any AKAs, you will love this. It has,
The Deltas can drink it too, right?
sure can, because now look, this the Delta red here. Now this is pure, that is straight pure red there,
I
right?
hear you.
And so it has aca berry, yum berry. But first of all, we keep saying aca berry. The correct pronunciation is acai.
Is it really a side? Okay.
I don't know why in the world we picked up aca berry, but it's actually
You know how we do? We gonna name it. I called it a cherryberry, or somebody told me, but yeah, we gonna call it something.
And they also have hibiscus. So, Lady O, you talked about hibiscus. You would definitely love this one. It has the cornflower petals. Let me see, do I have it so they can actually see what it looks like? It's a really, really, really pretty tea.
Oh yeah, that is beautiful.
Those blue flowers.
Yeah.
And
Mine
so
was red. My hibiscus plant was red, and it had these bulbs on it. Look almost like strawberries.
Right. So that's a different tea, but this is the antioxidant triple threat.
Oh,
and so
okay.
It has calcium.
Oh, I see my little blue things in here. I didn't see my blue at first.
Yeah,
I got it.
over. You know, it's been through some stuff to get
So
to.
what does this do? It just really boosts your immune system?
Immune system, helps with arthritis, weight loss, high cholesterol. So a lot of these teas are going to kind of like one going to help, or maybe a couple going to help the same thing because of the calcium, the zinc, the copper, that vitamin D. It has vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, and E. So that's the reason why it has all these things. That's why it's called a superfood.
I know. You got on here the triple threat. I got it. I like that.
Yeah. And it's really, really good.
So what I was doing, this is my little spoon that goes with my little measuring spoon. So I usually put this much into my little strainer and pour the hot water over it. So then steep it 3 to 5 minutes. And you saying that I can steep it again later on?
Yes, you can steep it later on in that same day. And so if you're going to re-steep it, you want to lessen your time, like 3 to 4 minutes, and then the next one probably 5 to 6 minutes. Now, it's not going to be as strong, but it's definitely your second cup is not going to taste what you'll taste on tea bag. So it still will hold its flavor. And so you were talking about, you held up the Hometown Spice, Lady O. That Hometown Spice, I'm going to show you guys. It has cinnamon.
Oh,
cinnamon chips. It's a black tea. It has cloves. Let me tell you, this is our signature tea. This tea.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. If you're looking for energy, you cannot drink this tea after 3 o'clock.
Okay.
This is another tea that you don't have to add any sugar, any honey, no sweetener, because it is naturally sweet. I'm telling you, once you drink it, it's going to bless your life. And then you're going to come back and say, okay, I'm going to need some more. That is one of our most popular teas that we have. And that was my very first tea. And the reason why I started that tea, when I got introduced to loose leaf tea, the same thing you were saying, Lady O, my doctor, I was drinking coffee because look, I have 5 children, a husband, several businesses. So coffee to me was my caffeine fix, right?
Wake me up.
So it got to the point that Starbucks wasn't doing the espresso shot, wasn't doing it. So I ended up moving to Turkish coffee. And so the first time, the Turkish coffee, I think the first, second day, I could have tore the house up and build it back up. That's how much caffeine it was. But my system got so used to it, and my doctor said, you got to back off of this caffeine.
Right.
It is not healthy. I need you to go into tea. I said, tea? That tea don't have no caffeine, not the caffeine I need, right?
I need some real stuff.
Right. And so this particular time, you remember I mentioned I have an etiquette school. So
Right.
I was doing an afternoon tea etiquette class at a tea room during the time of the royal wedding, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I was
Right.
doing a tea etiquette class for the anchors to get them ready to go to the wedding, right? And so I went to this tea room. Of course, I wanted to get familiar before they actually came to the tea room.
Right.
So I went there a few days early and never experienced loose leaf tea. This like 10 years ago. I mean, this a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Never experienced loose leaf tea. So the lady comes out with the 3-tier.
Right.
And then she comes out with the teapot and put it on there. And then she brings out this little, it's like an infuser that sits on top of your glass.
Right,
It's a smaller one.
Uh-huh.
And so I asked, I said, what is that used for? She said, well, it's to catch the loose leaf tea. I said, what, y'all open up the tea bag and just drop the tea in it? You know? She's like, and
Wait a minute.
I will ask questions. I don't care how, if I don't know, I don't know, right?
Right,
So she said, no, let me show you. So it was more of an experience. She took the lid off the teapot,
Right.
and it was a infuser ball in that pot, but it wasn't super fine. So it would let loose leaf tea out. So when I had, it was a cinnamon spice tea. Lady, when I tell you, that tea gave me the same amount of energy, actually more than any coffee would, but it did not have my heart racing. It was good until I didn't have, because I'm a person, I can add sugar, honey, whatever in it to make it taste good. This tea I didn't have to taste. So I mean, have to add. So that hometown spice, lady, hometown spice, you want to try that. So
because I'm gonna tell you something. This I definitely need energy, and but I don't. I'm glad you said don't drink it after a certain time, because I think that might have been it too. But I've had some coffee that, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing this. And my heart is just going like this. It will not stop. So this tea will not do that to you. Not like you're racing the horse races, and your eyes are bugged out like I can't shut them. What's wrong with you? Go to sleep.
And let me tell you, with everything going on, our minds, we got to have that energy. But with that hometown spice, you're going to get it. And cinnamon is a healthy, have so many healing properties to it. So many healing properties.
Good for diabetes too. Cinnamon.
Oh, and then also for nursing mothers. It produces.
I'm past that. Okay.
I know that's right.
This fact is we're empowered now.
Look, me too, lady. Me too. So, but it definitely, for diabetes, it also with inflammation, the energy, everything, cinnamon, you could think cinnamon, this tea does it. And so if you don't even have, and let me help you with this. If it says a teaspoon, use a teaspoon. I don't know why we feel like we got to put extra. The dry sheet. It says 1 dry sheet on the box, but you put 2 or 3 dry sheets in the dryer. Just use 1 teaspoon, please.
I know, right? And then you can use those. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay, this is good. Okay, tell me about. Do you make a chamomile? Because one of the other things too, that some of us are so busy, and I know as we even get old and go through menopause, we can't sleep. We have problems sleeping at night, and we're trying to take pills or whatever. What is the best tea?
Let me tell you. Okay, so we do have a chamomile, and the chamomile is great. But then I also have a bedtime bliss. Okay, so bedtime bliss, it has your chamomile, but the most important ingredient is the valerian. Okay, the valerian root is an ancient Greece. Like it comes from Greece, and actually the Greek doctors would use this as a form of a sleep aid. So it's this thing to your brain to make you fall asleep. So it's our bedtime bliss, but it comes also with chamomile, jasmine, and other ingredients. Now, Lady O, you talked about menopause, so you guys are the first one to hear about this because
I got my pen.
You got it?
I got my pen. I'm ready.
So today, I saved this just for my Lady O and May family, right? Today, we just launched a wellness line. And one of the wellness teas is a menopause tea.
Get out of here.
Yes, ma'am. So we have a menopause tea. We have a fertility tea. We have a tea for menstruals, like if you cramping really hard.
Yes.
And everything on our site has those ingredients, and it tells you, even on the back, when you get the bag from us, we list the ingredients, and we also list what those ingredients, the benefit of those ingredients. So it's not something you just getting that we put together, but it has amazing herbs. We took our time with this. And so I wanted to make sure I launched it for the fall. We've been sitting on it for a bit, but I saved it for you guys. So we just launched that wellness. So the fertility, the menopause, the menstrual. We have an elderberry tea. So
I need that one too.
Mama, go on over that.
I need that elderberry bush because my elderberry bush, when it froze, it died. But I literally, during the pandemic, I had a bush back there. I thought they were blueberries, but they were too little. And
I can come over to your house and we're going to have some tea time.
I'm telling you, you need to come over here and tell me what I got because the stuff grows so fast. The guy came over here the other day, was doing my yard. He said, what are you doing to your banana trees? Why are they so healthy? And these things went through the freeze. But I really honestly think I have a green thumb because it just grows. I haven't done anything to it back there. It's still growing. Except for my hibiscus plants. I didn't know how to do those. And I was going to ask you too, does yellow hibiscus, can you drink that?
You can, but of course that's not a tea. It's an herb.
It doesn't have, that's why my husband told me, I'm drinking that yellow stuff. I had a big, huge yellow one that was taller than me and it died in the freeze. So we lost a lot of things. But this menopause tea, let me tell you this, when my husband just came here and said he's being messy. He heard me talking about
some of
that. I'm going to that. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
And then, as you can tell, I showed you guys early the turmeric ginger tea that also came out with that wellness piece. So, you know, turmeric is known for inflammation, heart health, and so many other things. So someone in the chat asked about the matcha. Okay. And I'm going to address that. Matcha is this powder tea, M-A-T-C-H-A. It's a green tea. Now, believe it or not, all these teas that I mentioned to you are actually come out green because remember, it comes from that one plant.
Right.
The way that it is steamed or fermented, that gives it its color, right? Okay. But this tea, matcha, is a green tea. The difference is that matcha, I'm sorry?
Is it smooth? Is it already creamed?
It's smooth. It's already powder form. But the thing about this, it has 1 cup of this matcha. I keep moving the camera. 1 cup of this matcha equals 10 cups of green tea.
Whoa.
1 cup. And let me explain why. Because the powder form, what they did, they ground the entire leaf. So you're actually digesting the entire leaf and not just steeping a leaf.
Wow. That's good. Let me ask you something too about another thing about cancer. So many women are having breast cancer and ovarian cancer and things like that. Is there a tea that you can drink that helps you with cancer?
Yes, ma'am. So that would be your sencha. That would be your green tea. And what happens when we talk about cancer and other disease, those are called free radicals. Think about this. All of us have a sink and have seen like sinks with rust on it. And so use your body as the inside, and the free radicals are what that rust is. And so you need a tea that has plenty of antioxidant, because the antioxidant is the one that fights off the free radical. It's like that protector. So a green tea, anything, you know, with that high, so there'll be your akaberry. That sencha is going to help you in every area. That matcha is going to help you because you actually getting the entire tea. Also, the matcha is good for focus. Now in Japan,
come on with it, with all this stuff.
How
matcha, people can't remember. What is it? What is this? I mean, I'm like, I know I'm not developing no Alzheimer's, but it seems like the older I get, things just don't come. So help me with my thought. I don't want to do this stuff.
So let me tell you, matcha was created in Japan, and who would use the matcha was monks. And they would use the monks would use it because they would go into the temple and they would spend hours in the temple. So they needed something to stay awake and to keep them focused. And so that is why they created that matcha. So if you're looking for something that you want to focus or helps you, calm you, and don't give you this crash, matcha is going to be your best bet. So I have two kinds of matcha because you're going to see it on the website. There's a ceremonial matcha, which is pure green tea, right? Then you have the matcha latte. The matcha latte has the sugarcane sugar and organic milk already built in it. So if you go to Starbucks, if you see anybody ordering green drinks, that's what's in the green drinks are matcha. But the difference is that when you have those coffee companies, they add sugar, more vanilla, and so you don't get the benefits of that matcha. That 4-ounce matcha, you will not in the store at the Starbucks, you will pay $8 or $9 for that 1 cup of matcha. That's a small cup. This here, I think it's $40. You actually have 60 cups.
Wow. Wow.
You are saving. So any green tea, we talked about those cancer diseases. You want to definitely get with your green tea, that inflammation, arthritis. You want to deal with, your ginger, your turmeric, those type of things, those different herbs helps with that. So everything we have, then we have the dessert tea. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
That is your lemon meringue.
It's going to put calories on me. What about high blood pressure?
All the teas are 0 calories. There is no calories. Because they all organic tea.
So no calories. You can drink all,
No
but don't
calories.
put
Now-
lemon and stuff in there. Do you recommend we put lemon and honey and all that stuff?
Now, lemon is good because lemon actually maximizes the potential and enhances the benefits of the tea. Now, when you start adding regular sugar and now it tastes like a Kool-Aid, it's not going to work.
Right.
Okay,
You got all that
tell people
sugar in there, then you have tea.
Right. So you want to try it first, taste it first, then you add whatever you need to add. But if you're going to do sugar, do raw sugar or honey.
That was going to be my next question. Which sugars are the best for health benefits? I mean, if you just, some people just say they can't drink it without the sugar or honey or something. So the best one is,
you can do raw sugar. You can do guava. You can do anything that's more natural. Just stay away from the imperial white sugar.
Yeah. That's right. Just stay away from white sugar.
Yeah.
Even though the ones that are artificial sweeteners, I heard they're not good for you.
They are not. And I used to be like a Splenda fan. But let me tell you, other cultures, Lady O, do not use sugar at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm a part of that culture.
Okay, well, thank you.
I don't do sugar in mine. I don't do honey in mine. Because you know what I found out, and like I was telling Tisha earlier, with coffee, if I'm going to drink Colombian coffee, I want to be able to smell and taste the aroma, and it tastes so good and so different. I can taste the difference between Brazilian coffee, and all this stuff, and it tastes so good. And when you put it up, the aroma, it's so good. But if you got it coming down with all this cream and sugar, whatever, you just got, like when we went to Africa, they put half a cream in the steamed cream first in the cup, then they pour you some coffee in with it. Tastes so good, but the sugar, the cream is already sweetened and it's already steamed. So that's what you're doing, is you just have a little coffee in your cream. It's good, but it's not good for you. Lactose and all that stuff,
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree. So just kind of wean yourself from it. Instead of doing, 3 teaspoons, try 1. But you definitely miss the flavors, the robust flavors from the tea.
Do you do lemongrass? I was telling the people earlier that one of the plants that I grew, everything I grew out there just went crazy. Lemongrass grew so big, it was about this big. And I would just cut it. I didn't really know how to, and I just cooked it, and it tastes so good. Even my husband liked it.
Yes, lemongrass is actually good. Actually in some of my wellness teas, I have lemongrass or lemon balm or lemon verbena in it. So you will find it in the elderberry tea. You're going to find it in the menopause tea. So the lemongrass is actually really good because it as a form of inflammation, but then also it helps you with body pain.
With what?
So, I'm sorry?
With body pains?
Yes. So you can like lemon verbena is good for pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good
And
to
so
know.
you will find that in some of the teas that I have on the line.
Okay.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good. Did we have any questions in here, guys? I haven't really been reading the chat that much, but if you have a question or whatever, would you please go over that? And are you going to go over some of the different kind of teas you have over there? I love your tea kettle. I got to get one like that. I want that color.
Oh, don't worry about it. I got you covered.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
I have you covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a because it's the fall. So I'm going to actually make a chai tea. And
Yes,
so
Patty.
we have a French vanilla chai that this is going on. And so I'm going to actually demonstrate to you guys how to do it. As for steeping your tea, you would do the same thing for steeping.
Okay.
I was trying to see if I had a spoon. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this in the infuser. And with this one here, my teapot is already hot. Now this is electric tea kettle. So
I love it.
yeah, no more. And actually it's the right temperature, because thing is that if you have your water too hot, and actually I put the temperature on the bag of where it should be, but you don't ever want to oversteep your tea, because you'll burn the leaves. Yes, ma'am. You'll end up burning the leaves of the tea, and then that's when it goes into that bitter taste.
See, I saw that on the bags. It had a temperature, and I was trying to figure out, is the temperature where is that coming from? We take up the mom. What do we do? We take up the
mostly tea kettles, or if you have an electric one, it automatically don't give you that temperature. Okay,
you set the temperature.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
Know what? I'm gonna tell you something I didn't know. Just kind of forgive me. I didn't know they had an electric tea kettle. I ain't never heard of that before. Okay. So anybody else heard of an electric tea kettle? My mom had one you put on the stove, and when it started whistling, it was ready.
Right.
I never heard of electric.
I do mine pretty different. So as you can see, this is kind of actually giving you a steeping. And this is a good fall drink. There's a pumpkin spice chai. I have a French vanilla chai. And then if you just don't want any flavor to it, as for like the vanilla or the pumpkin, there's a regular chai. Also, if you order the hometown spice, now I'm all about budgeting too. If you order the hometown spice and you have pumpkin spice cream, just a little dash, and you have your pumpkin spice, because the main ingredients are in the same hometown spice that is in the chai. But the chai is more of a deeper and less cinnamon.
Right.
You know?
Wow. Okay, so you're making for us now. What are you making for us?
I'm making a vanilla chai. So right here, I already put the chai tea in here. It's steeping right now. This is my frother. So in here, I have milk. You can use whole milk. You can use almond milk. And what the frother is going to do, give you that foam. A lot of times when we order the coffee from the coffee place, you're really not getting a lot of the coffee. You actually get more of the foam.
Yeah, it's cheaper. You know.
And so it's cheaper for them, but your cup is full.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Full of.
Right. So here you have more control on how much foam you want. And then what I'll do is, normally when this is still going, it's almost done. What I would do is that I will add cinnamon on top, just to give it that pretty look. Right. And you can add honey to it if you like, or you can drink it straight. You know, and so that is one. The same thing with the matcha latte. The matcha latte already have milk in it, so you can just add it in your regular hot water, or you can just put it in your milk and shake it up, and you're good to go.
Okay, good. Well, listen, you got to talk about how do we get this Where are you? How do we get it to our homes?
Okay. And so you can go on our website. It's called www.lewistcompany.com. LewisTCompany.com. And Lady O, just for your audience, I created a discount code. So anyone that ordered through this site, they would get a 10% discount, and they have to use the word Lady O in the discount code, and you guys get 10% off. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
And that expires October the 15th. So you want to move now. And then once we finish, go on the website. There's over 35 blends.
Wow.
All of the tea is, again, organic. So you're not adding anything to it. It's hand blended. And then also, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to add.
Okay, I can see. Now, is that warm milk?
This is warm milk.
Okay. Says that reminds me of Africa, and it tastes so good.
And then, okay, and then what you can do, normally I would add cinnamon. Look how pretty that is.
That's beautiful. It
like,
gets you ready for fall.
It gets you ready for the fall. And so it's so easy. If people think, oh my God, how much work? You did a lot of work. No, you just foam your milk. And you can get this off Amazon.
Okay.
I think I paid less than $30 for it. But I've been using it for like over a year.
So does that's electric too, and you heat it for a certain temperature as well?
Actually, you plug it. Yeah, you plug it up, and there's set like 2 buttons on here. And it'll tell you if you want a real thick foam. It'll tell you to press that button. If you want like a medium foam, you press the other button. Thank you.
That's serious right there.
And then I don't know if, baby, how can I do that? They can't see it. Can you? Oh, right.
Well, we can see it right there. Oh yeah, there you go. Right there. I see the cinnamon on top. Or you look like that's from Starbucks or somewhere. You got it going on.
But it's right from your home. So
yes.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I want to thank you so much for all your information. And I want to just encourage everybody to go on and to share. The one good thing about Tea Talk, one of the good things about Tea Talk, you can share it over and over and over again. So you can send it to a friend on their web page or on their personal page. However, but a lot of us need to get this. I'm going to send it to all my children because I don't like them taking a lot of medicine and things like that they're taking. And the tea is much better for you, especially with the way it's made. So we want to just congratulate you and thank you so much for being an awesome entrepreneur and a woman of God. And we're going to go on there and look and see what else we can find on there. It's so much to go, but can they on the website, can they send you questions if they have other questions?
Yes, ma'am. You can send me questions. And then also I'm going to give you my email address now.
Okay.
It is info@lewistcompany.com.
Okay.
Very easy. info@lewistcompany.com. You can ask me any question. Most of the time I'm going to pick up the phone and call you so we can talk it out.
Right.
So,
and that's the other thing I was going to say. I like that you're local and that you are very personable and you do see this as a ministry. You want to help people. And so we definitely want to patronize, people who are up and coming like you and who are doing a great job. And I mean, you're all over the place, but we want to make sure you're in our home as well because you are in our hearts. And we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And all of the Tea Talk team, they didn't get a chance to share their boxes, but they got a box as well. So we want to thank so much Ms. Lewis for, giving us a gift. Even before we bought anything, she's very generous. So Ms. Monica, we want to thank you again so much for joining us on Tea Talk and for bringing us some wonderful tea that we can last and share throughout the years and the holidays to come. So we'll be in touch, and I got to get with you on that tea kettle there because I got to get up to date and stop putting the pot. I'm boiling water in a pot on the stove.
No, mama. And let me tell you, some people boil water. When you are steeping tea, never allow your water to boil. When you start seeing the ball rolling, it's too hot. You don't even need a thermometer for that. Yeah. So just when you start seeing just a little boil, turn it off. Because now it's at a temperature, but when it starts boiling, the water is too hot.
That's good information because I thought it wasn't ready until it started boiling. I mean, like boiling really big. And then I got to wait 10 minutes for it to cool down before I can drink it. But I'm going to see which one I can get because I definitely need one for cholesterol for sure because they want to put you on all this medicine of the Lord. And I'm just not trying to feel that. It's not a good medicine for you anyway. So guys, let's use what we got. The information we got, it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. You got some great knowledge today. And so look up Monica. Thank her for coming. Tell her how blessed you were and order something to help support her business. Okay. All right. Thank you, Monica, for coming. And we'll be in touch. Okay. Blessings. And thank you for joining Tea Talk. We'll see you next week at 3 for Tea with Lady O. Goodbye.